Welcome to Storm Shelter Cinema at Arlington High School, the movie review show where films can either find safe harbor from the storm or will discover a whole new one. Today we'll be reviewing Pinocchio, released in 2022, directed by Guillermo del Toro. I'm Giovanni, and I'm joined by my co-host Neftalie.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is a modern retelling of the classic fairy tale. A father's wish magically brings a wooden boy to life in Italy. It shows us the adventures Pinocchio takes while living in the real world. The two of them have to struggle to find a place for themselves as Italy becomes embroiled in fascism. This film explores themes of fatherhood, loss, and the nature of being human through a deeply personal lens.
In my opinion, there are multiple implicit meanings for that the film/director intended. One of them being, at first glance, immortality is a great thing, but once you are immortal, it quickly becomes a horrid curse. A great scene that backs this up is when the dogfish kills Pinocchio, and he has to either wait to go back to the land of the living, or to save Geppetto, or break the rules and go back immediately. Another implicit meaning of the film is you never know how good a thing is until it's gone. A scene that backs this up is when Geppetto loses his son Carlo at the beginning of the film.
This film uses a variety of formal elements, including stop motion, mechanical puppets, and 3D printing. I want to specifically look at the puppets. The puppets took a year and a half to be created. The puppets were repaired and retouched throughout the 195 puppet days of filming. These puppets are handmade and carefully designed a specific way. Pinocchio himself as a puppet is intentionally imperfect, with exaggerated features and a rough unfinished look that aligns with the film's themes and creation, identity, and mortality.
I really enjoyed Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Now I could be considered biased as I am a sucker for stop-motion films. However, I think this film stands out on its own merits either way. Some of my highlights from the film are the creature and character designs. For example, let's look at Pinocchio. He is supposed to be an unfinished puppet as Geppetto made him while he was drunk. Pinocchio has one ear, a hole in his chest, twigs sticking out of his head, and you can still see all the tree stump bits on the top of his head. I also love the story because it has underlying themes of broken fathers, broken sons, death, and life. The movie was great, and I give it a thumbs up. What did you think of the movie?
I actually loved the movie. I didn't think I would, but I really enjoyed it.
I was unsure what I would think of the movie, but I had seen good reviews of it, so I thought I would like it, and I was happy to see that I did. I really liked I liked all the songs, but my favorite were Ciao Papa and Everything Is New to Me.
Okay, I loved it. Yeah, I forgot what it was called, but when he runs away to join the circus, I love that song too.
I'm going to assume that you watched the documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like one of my favorite points from the documentary is that every character in the film, like every figure they made for the film, has just looking at the figure by itself, you have to be able to tell that the figure itself tells a story.
Yeah.
And one way they did that was making every character like dirtied up. Like they would add dirt and grime to the figure itself. And that would tell, like, you could, just by looking at that, you could tell this character has been through hardships and stuff like that.
Yeah. The documentary, I like how it shows also like the stop motion process where like all the steps and every detail they take, and I thought it was really cool.
And like how how they played with scale, like they made a really big Pinocchio puppet that was like his shoulder, his chest, and his head.
Yeah.
And they made a cricket figure that was like the scale of the normal Pinocchio figure.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us today on Storm Shelter Cinema. We reviewed Pinocchio, released in 2022, directed by Guillermo del Toro. I'm Neftalie Anastacio, and I love this movie. My co-host Giovanni Eddington also liked this movie. We'll see you next time at the movies.